0. Alright, so we're here with GGinSydney. As you can see. Hey! Alright, so we're here to talk about GamerGate, which is about ethics in gaming journalism. So, alright everyone, why are we here today?
I just wanted to play games!
Play video games!
Video games!
We just wanted to play video games, but no one actually brought out DSs, so we have to talk to each other.
Oh, what? What is this?
I meant to! I'm really senile and old and I forget why I'm here.
Alright.
Something about ethics at sea lions, I don't know, I zoned out like 4 drinks ago.
I came here to be oppressed. I'm thoroughly oppressed. You too? Yeah. Oppression!
I'm so glad they're here because now I can eat sandwiches. Our jobs are done.
All kidding aside, we're basically here because we don't want people in journalistic roles to dictate what we do and do not like, and we would like them to at least do their jobs with a modicum of ethics related to it. Like, it's really not hard. Just disclose your relationships. It's not that hard. Like, it really isn't. And also, like, we really just wanted to like drink and stuff because we're Australians and that's sort of like our thing.
I think that there's significantly undesirable amount of nepotism within the industry. People favouring friends and family and colleagues above truth and honesty, and failing to represent themselves, their I suppose constituents, failing to represent their constituents, and preferring to line their own pockets with money from advertisers and other involved third parties.
Clickbait outrage has replaced truthful and ethical reporting on games, where the reporter is explaining why they're offended by a game instead of how the game works, how they interacted with it. Like, was it good? Was it fun? Does it work? Does it have game-breaking bugs? Instead of this game offends me because this game character has a tighter shirt than that one.
Bayonetta was overtly sexualized. Did he play the game? Or
He did play the game. Also has a suicide girl's profile, so why does he care about sexualizing women?
Well, to be fair, I think this is actually a very complex issue. No, but we have to be fair. That's what we're doing. That's what we're here for. We want to be fair and we want to be equal. But I think there is value in listening to the criticisms of the anti-GamerGate side. For example, Arthur Geis's Suicide Girl's profile, as you referred to, is the existing archive from that, which I personally evaluated myself. It's 5 years old.
Yeah, sure you did.
It's a 5-year-old archive. I mean, let's be realistic here. Not everyone shares the values that they had from 5 years ago. And while, yes, it is disingenuous to propose the concept that a game is supposedly unworthy or, worse off for having these sexualized images while, individually enjoying such a thing. I mean, we're talking about a 5-year-old profile here.
Oh, yes. Yes, I have. Okay, so, but with this, keep in mind that these people have come into yet another space. What they've done is they've co-opted the media again to try and report on what society thinks, on how terribly misogynistic and bigoted their user base is, whether it be atheism, whether it be sci-fi, whether it be comic books. Regardless, this nerd space is misogynistic and hateful, and it's all a big hatred. But it's not really, is it? No, it's not. The gaming press is biased against us. Any of the narrative that they put on us is being destroyed by meetups like this. They say we've got 350 people and the rest are sock puppets, and yet 250 of those showed up at DC alone. I mean, how? And look, the rest of us are here.
it's mainly just about us gamers just wanting to be. We just wanted to be left alone. We didn't want to have any ideologies forced on us. Just wondering, like, if we wanted to be able to think what we want, not think what these people tell us to think about a certain game. Let's have a look again. Bayonetta. It's like, oh, this game is terribly sexist. Let's mark it down because it's sexist. How does it play? Tell us that.
Really wide, man.
I'm an indie game developer. Don't kill me. But look, I was involved in GamerGate from the outset, and even before it started, I saw that there was some kind of clique going on in game dev, especially around San Francisco. And I thought, look, Toronto. Yeah, exactly. I really need to sort of get involved with this. I need to get involved with the right people in the press. I need to get involved with the right game devs. But then, every so often I see reviews that are pushing a particular political agenda and things like that. And I thought, well, look, at the end of the day, they're just trying to make money. Like, these guys, they're on low wages. They're game reviewers. They're on low wages. They don't get paid much at all, apart from their Patreons. And so it's their thing to create controversy, because controversy gets clicks. And so more and more as a game developer, I was seeing game reviews, and as a gamer as well, I was seeing game reviews that are pushing feminism, or, you know, they're pushing whatever other ideology you want, which is fine, but does it really belong in games? Like, we just want to know, is that game fun to play? Has that game got good graphics? But look, seriously, look, all I want to say about being an indie game dev or wanting to get into the game dev industry, all I want to do is connect with gamers. So I'm very thankful that GamerGate came along. Because I'm a gamer, and I can actually talk to, I can talk to other gamers and say, look, what do you want in the game? I don't have to go through some middleman. I don't have to go through Polygon. I don't have to go through Kotaku. And I do see a lot of game developers and other people who want to get into the industry saying, look, that's the path I have to go because these people are popular, and so that's the way it is. But they've painted that narrative. They've painted the fact that they're the gatekeepers. But they're not. The gatekeepers are the people that buy the actual games. The audience. But what we're lacking in games reviews, we don't have a David and Margaret. And for those people that aren't Australian, David and Margaret are our movie reviewers. They actually watch movies. They understand the art of movies. We don't have that. The closest we have.
Australia, the movie though. So come on, let's be.
Yeah, okay. They did do a few bad ones. The closest we have, and the only Australian, even though I think he's actually Pommy, is Yahtzee Croshaw. And another Pommy, Total Biscuit. They're the only two legit game reviewers. There's a few around the outskirts that are like that, and I apologise to anyone I've offended. That
Alpha Omega Sin.
There we go.
I'm triggered right now.
I'm triggering myself even talking about it. But all I would like to say, this is a safe space. Everyone here is a gamer.
Safe space.
Safe space. Get me out of here. Game dev is something that I recommend to any gamer to get into, because nowadays that you can download Unreal, you can download Unity, all of these free game engines, there are so many tutorials online. This is the golden age of games. There are YouTube videos that teach you to do anything you would want to do. There's no excuse. If I go into game dev groups like GGinSydney, and they tell me when I say, look, everyone can make games, they say, no, it's problematic for women. No, because if you download Unity, you download Unreal, you download any of these, they don't know that you're a woman. They don't know that you're an otherkin. I really enjoy GamerGate having come along because I felt less insane. I was seeing what was happening. No, and I thought, I can't be the only one that thinks there's a clique. I can't be the only one that is seeing these reviews and going, I can't relate to that. So, gamers are...
What was the question?
The question from this tirade is, why is GamerGate here and what are we about? We're about wanting to play... This is our hobby. These are our computer games. We just want to know, has it got good graphics? Am I going to enjoy playing it? You're not going to enjoy playing every game, but please, don't review it from a standpoint of political ideology. Even if you're being genuine or disingenuous, it doesn't matter. All we care about is playing games and making games. And now is the time that if you say, look, people are oppressed and people can't make games, absolute bullshit. Everyone can make games and everyone should make games.
Yeah. Well said, well said.
I'm Niv. I've been a gamer, like, you know, just about since I could hold a controller. Playing video games, and like, unlike what some other people have said about being gamers since they could hold a controller. But I played games all through my life, and at the same time I was also consuming games media. When you really, really like something, you don't, you know, stop enjoying games just because you've finished all the ones you've played. You want to find out more about games. You want to find more games, discover, you know, more games that could be good that you like, or by the same people.
Just quickly, guys.
So what I was saying is, you know, that when you do have that sort of passion for games, a passion for games media comes along with it, because you want to find out more about the hobby that you love. And when I was a child, at least, that was certainly the case. If you looked at a games magazine, you'd know that you'd be seeing the information about games that you wouldn't have known about, that are just coming out. But nowadays, that's been entirely obsoleted, thanks to YouTube, thanks to the fact that companies can host their own websites.
Obsoleted.
Yeah, exactly. The entire industry sort of didn't really have a reason to keep on going. There's a lot of inertia behind them. But when you want to find out about new and upcoming games, you don't go to Polygon, you go to YouTube. When you want to find out whether or not a game's worth playing, you don't go, I wonder what Arthur Geese thinks of this. You go, or I wonder what, Macintosh thinks about this. You go onto Steam and look at videos and comments. You go onto YouTube and look at people actually playing the game. Exactly. There's nothing like that. There's no real gain that can be made from a review that's written down by somebody on minimum wage in San Francisco, compared to somebody. Yeah. Compared to somebody who has a passion for the game, is recording it and saying what they think. I don't see people who share this really great passion for video games. I see people who just want to attack others. There's all this negativity in a hobby that's really the least fitting place for it.
Dialogue system ever.
When I present my game to the world when I finished it, I don't want to be judged on the fact on how much how many pixels are devoted to cleavage, or whether or not women characters get enough lines compared to inanimate objects or whatever. I want it to be judged on, is this a fun game?
How many lines?
That's all that matters to me. I'm not putting any politics or anything in there, but I've got no idea how a game like that could be judged. We've seen multiple cases where people like Polygon have completely missed the point. I mean, with Bayonetta 2, Bayonetta's character designer was a woman. Yeah. The producer was a woman.
She still is a woman.
Yeah. And they flat out said, it's really nice to see a strong female character like this. And Polygon attacked them for being sexist.
I want that to be God. I just want them not to push other people out.
Personally, everyone who seems to think that ideological reviews need to be stopped is stupid to begin with. Everyone's subject.
Agreed.
To go and sit there and act like that's a point that GamerGate needs to fight is dumb, because it's not going to work. It's regressive. You're telling people they're wrong. It's exactly what we are fighting against. What GamerGate is, and what its most important part is, understanding the flow of information that we get, so that when we get information that Zoe Quinn's game is fantastic, we know that it's coming from a friend. Or when we see that somebody's reviewing a game gone home, that their friends were part of the development. I mean, Nathan Grayson may not have slept with Zoe Quinn the day that article went out, 24 hours afterwards, apparently, according to Stephen Tortello, which is apparently perfectly fine for a professional relationship. His name was in the fucking credits, and nothing was said. And we all just know, like, oh, it's a misogynist hate movement from the start. No, there was a lapse of ethical responsibility. So if Polygon wants to make political reviews, fine, they go nuts. As long as we know where that information is coming from, we shouldn't give a shit. All the power to them. If they start making money and if they drown us all under their old identity politics, if it turns out it is the most attractive thing for all gamers, and we have to realise that that's the deal. Although obviously it isn't, and we understand as soon as that crutch is taken out from underneath them, the whole thing's going to fall apart, and we're going to see it. But we've got to stop.
Yeah, so
we have to stop criticising people based on their ideals, because it's not about ideals. It's about ethics in games journalism.
we should look, as much as everyone wants to, we don't need to destroy Polygon. We don't need to destroy Kotaku. They can exist because it's a free market. Everyone should be allowed to exist
And have the opportunity.
So,
exactly.
but what we need to realise as gamers, just as well as you can go out and make games, you can go out and make the game media.
Yeah.
You are the game media. You are the people that are the end user of this.
I mean, I will say this for one thing, though. It does piss me off that I'm not playing games right now. We've been so disenfranchised by these people that we can't trust them anymore.
Yeah.
But I don't mind if Ian Miles Chong wants to apologise. I don't even care if it's fake. I'll accept that apology and I'll make it look like the GG movement is an accepting movement, as it should be and as it is. The reason why we have liberals, the reason why we have conservatives, the reason why we have people like Vox Day or Roosh V or you know, all these people is because we've not told anyone to go away. We've told them your voice is as important as everyone else's and we should all hear it. Now once, and the thing is we've got to realise that GamerGate's going to stop at some point. We're all going to realise that there's going to be queer liberals and there's going to be like 4chan polars that are going to argue again. We're going to go at each other. We don't like each other technically. The reason why this movement works is because it's based on actual evidence of impropriety of the media.
What you're getting at is that gamers, by and large, we're probably the most inclusive people.
We're the most inclusive here is because we let her.
Well, this is it. So the thing that we're probably railing against most is saying that a game shouldn't be included as a game, or saying that a game is bad, or saying that a game is misogynistic. We want all the games. We don't want just some of the games and to say some are bad and some are good. We want the choice. We want the freedom of choice. Meritocracy. Is this game a fun game to play? Rated on its gameplay, rated on its graphics. Don't say it was a bad game because you didn't personally agree with the politics of it. But at the same time, what we need to do as gamers is come up with our own game reviews, and we need to stop talking about the bad ones.
Wrong. So this is the issue here. Now, if everyone was allowed to do everything that they wanted to do and people fell off the map just based on economics, I'd have absolutely no problem with that. However, it's quite obvious that the sites that control this information are colluding with one another, and it's not really fair. And I think, you know, as a movement, that's what we should be gaining. We really focus, because the SJW agenda is something that everyone can comment on. Like, everyone can be upset about that, but it's an opinion. Like that's really what it is. The objective truth of GamerGate is the fact that these people fucked up their ethical responsibilities.
And they didn't just fuck it up, they fucked it up over and over
again.
Yeah.
The problem is these guys don't understand, never understand, well, they probably do understand what the consumer wants. But it's the same with any media, it's the same with all fucking things, but they were sitting in their ivory towers for too long with the power that they were given. And they squandered it to a point where no one can trust them anymore because they believe they can change the social landscape of gaming, and it turned out that gamers were just really what could be described as true liberals and told them to fuck off, don't tell us how to act unless you've got actual evidence.